Alright, just one package arrived today. Technically there was another one, but that's not something I'm going to open up on the video. It's a thing for work. Nothing exciting. Darn it. One DVD fell. Put that up here. But before we get through those, let's get through other stuff. Some video game editions. Paper Mario Color Splash, Rayman Legends, and Harvest Moon 3D The Tale Between Cities. Basically, there's a Pokemon event going on, and I decided to patronize GameStop, even though they're kind of a scummy company, just because I do appreciate the fact that they do that. And of course, we got this, which is the Kickstarter Vision of Escaflowne release. This should be the $175 bundle, and if you haven't heard, not all the awards shipped correctly or something. Anyways, we got the certificate. A good certificate. We'll begin with some of the extras in here. I haven't actually opened these tarot cards yet. As you can see, the box is in nice condition. This, nice condition. So my stuff is in mostly nice condition, but if you haven't noticed, oh, and of course, got the poster here, but it's big. It'll be kind of hard to actually show it on the camera like this. So I'll have to, well, it's kind of hard to keep it unrolled, so I'm probably not going to show it, but while everything seems in order, there is the DVD version missing. I think that being shiny is unique to the Kickstarter version. And I don't know. I don't know what to make of all this, because since I collect both DVD and Blu-ray, obviously I want the DVD version if it has the new dub on it, but I don't think it does. But then that raises the question of what about the Blu-ray DVD release that are in stores right now? The Blu-ray version probably has the new dub for sure, but what about the DVD version? If the Kickstarter DVD version doesn't have... So I don't know. It's not something I'm too worried about, since Funimation seems a little on top of it. I think the biggest mistake right now is it sounds like they have issued an official statement about trying to fix it, but they haven't said anything on Kickstarter itself. So it looked like that was mostly on Anime News Network. This would be a good excuse to rewatch the show. This is a pretty little set, and here's the movie, I think, which I have not watched, so it's probably not too notable, because I don't think it's like a movie sequel to the series. I do believe it's like a movie version of it, so it's not as good per se, which is what you'd expect. Let's and honestly, I don't know if it's just me saying that means I've actually heard that somewhere, or if, because I'd expect it that way, if maybe that's just me being somewhat biased. So that's why I should probably watch it. Next we've got the DVDs that have actually come out. We got Hello Kinmoza, which should be the second season of this. Well, of course it says season 2 up there. Come on, I can feel this plastic is loose and ready to come off. Just difficult, as plastic tends to be. I'm just not going to try. Let's go straight for the fingernail clippers. In fact, I should probably just have these out in general. I wonder if that even did anything. Yeah, at that time it definitely did something. Not sure how well I remember the first season of this. Definitely a popular title. Interesting. Let's see. First of all, Region A, Japanese with English subtitles only. And of course, since we have the DVD version here, we're going to see 2 discs. Looks like they have the same disc art. There's same disc 1, same disc 2. It's rather straightforward. Next up, we've got a SNAFU 2. I'm trying to remember if I had heard that this second season, isn't as good, is very different, or is just the same or something. I get the impression that I might have heard it's not as good, but I guess this is maybe my highest priority watch for this week, just because I don't know the answer to that. And the first season was a pretty good show. So first off, Region A, Japanese with English subtitles. This is Season 2, The Good, the Bad, and the Socially Maladjusted. Looking on the inside. If only I could get this to stay closed. Those are our 2 discs. And the DVD version, I'm trying to decide if this one feels like it has 2 or 3 discs in it. It feels heavier, like maybe there's an insert in the middle which makes 3 discs. But I don't know if I am... No, I guess I was feeling that right. So we can see that disc 2 here is unique disc art to the DVD version. The last discs are the same. And absent this, the first discs are the same. And last but not least in this pile, we've got Cobra the Animation, which is a TV series version of Cobra, which I do believe is somewhat of a classic series. I guess all 3 of this week's releases are Sentai, aren't they? Now, it's possible maybe there was also supposed to be some other releases, but I kind of noticed while I was shopping for next month's stuff that Right Stuff... Oh, is this Sentai? I guess it is. It doesn't have the tab on the side like Sentai releases usually do. Anyways, I was noticing that there's Aniplex stuff that says it's out of stock, almost like either shipped late or I didn't make the first cut or something. It's really hard to say. There's 3 discs in there, so how many are in here? This is a rather unusual Sentai release. Okay, so I see that those are the same. Let me... Those are the same. And then that seems to be unique to the Blu-ray version. Huh. Interesting choice. Well, taking a look around, it looks like that's this week's anime DVD collection update. Doesn't feel like I've really watched a whole lot of anime. I finished Seraph of the End. Was there something else I was watching that I was going to tell you all about that I finished? Can't remember. Maybe I already put it away over there. Maybe it was Chaika. I thought I talked about the ending to that, which means that, okay, Seraph of the End. So, I thought it was a perfectly okay second season. There were a couple of things about it that were a little off. It kind of felt like maybe it hadn't been designed such that it wasn't a little repetitive for a couple of parts in order to set things up for the ending. And the ending wasn't really the end of the series. So there's more of it afterwards, and I'm not quite sure what to think about that other than I'm curious. It wasn't horrible by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know. There's something about it that definitely feels like it was missing, and I'm not sure if I can put my finger on exactly what it is. Maybe it's the characters maybe feel a little more angsty. Like, this is one of those things where there have been times where the characters have actually felt legitimately notably powerful, and then other times where it's like they may as well be a Magikarp, level 5 Magikarp who doesn't know any attacking moves or something like that. So I don't know. It's a weird mix. finished watching Serial Experiments Lane with a friend. Decided to pull this out in order to do that and talk about it. It's I'm not sure what it is about the series that I always enjoy watching it, because I can't really place my finger on anything specifically per se. But I enjoyed it. I think it makes a lot of sense, but I've watched it enough times that I kind of interpret everything I watch under the context of how I understand everything to be as it is, and yeah, I don't know. It's really neat. Finally, I started A Good Librarian Like a Good Shepherd. I wasn't sure what to make of this when I first got it. I did see an advertisement for it on one of the Funimation DVDs, and my curiosity was piqued. I know that I don't think it rates super well. It's a little on the low side. I guess I'm not going to put it down just yet. But I'm still kind of curious. You know, sometimes, even though it's bad, I kind of want to know why it's bad or what it almost did right. Or sometimes, you know, I just run into one of those rare gems that I actually enjoy that most people hate, which is kind of rare. In this case, I guess what piqued my interest is it looked like it began with the guy being indifferent, but he could kind of slightly see into the future somehow, and knew that this one girl was about to be hit by a train, so he rescued her. And, you know, that's kind of an interesting setup, something that could go good. It's sort of like Miss Katora something or the other. That one where it kind of has a good setup, but that one definitely had an execution that's not necessarily bad, but very off from where you would have hoped it was going to be, where it's kind of more your average show, and maybe this one's kind of being sort of similar. I'm not sure if they're necessarily comparable in that regard, but there's a similar sort of feeling there. But I've only seen 2 episodes, so I can't really judge too thoroughly. I did dislike the fact that it started with the pervert, everybody gang up, nobody listening, everybody deserves to have their guts punched or something like that. And why can't I help but think that I was watching something else, maybe not anime, that was kind of like that, but or maybe that was some of the guys in Seraph at the end who were just hypocrites. I don't know. I really don't like the lack of communication, hypocrisy, whatever. So I need to watch more of that. But of course, I have to balance that with the fact that I do want to watch SNAFU 2. And at the same time, I did watch an episode of the first episode of Hayate the Combat Butler last night. Partially because, I don't know, I guess I was thinking about anime-related stuff and all this neat stuff, and then I was remembering, you know, I was going on the YouTube to find the scene from the first episode where Santa's talking to Hayate and telling him that Hayate doesn't get Christmas presents from Santa because Hayate is poor. And it's in a very deadpan, oh, no, that's just the way things are, sort of way that makes it amusing. But I was also remembering there was a scene, a flashback to when he was a little kid in school and his situation being so poor and hopeless that his wishes for the future were basically kind of torturous to his teacher and classmate because of just how sad of an existence he was, I guess. Sort of, I don't know, something like that. I don't know if I'm describing it right based on how I feel. Oh well. Oh, maybe that's why it feels like there wasn't that much anime watched this week. It's because I spent a lot of time playing Super Mario Maker. I think last week I might have mentioned either I was starting on a stage or I had an idea for a stage or something like that. I think I finished it maybe 3 a.m. Thursday morning. I was spending a lot of time trying to get it just right. The only problem is I'm not sure that it'll be necessarily that well liked or that well playable. It's got an interesting mechanism to it, but at the same time, I mean, just uploading it, going from the very beginning to the very end, I almost didn't have enough time to do that. Not that I'm super good at the game, but even knowing where I had to go and what I had to do to get through all the puzzles, I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a very real possibility there that, excuse me, sorry. There's a very real possibility there that I don't think anybody will play it, and some of the people who do probably won't enjoy it. Oh well. I'll try to figure it out myself. Maybe my brother will play it, and we'll see what he has to say. But the truth of the matter is, I don't think he's planning to spend an hour or two playing one level just to beat it. Especially since I'm not sure if that's necessarily much of an accomplishment in this case. It's I'm not sure if it's engaging. That's something that it would be nice if I had people playing it and commenting, but oh well. That's all thinking aside. Now that that stage is done, I'm back to putting data in the Pokemon database and yeah, finding problems with how I'm parsing the data I freshly parsed a week or two ago or something, I don't know. So, I should maybe have chances to watch anime depending on how much I need to divide my attention and do stuff, and I'm going to have lots of friends over. Well, I guess I get Thursday to myself maybe. So, I'll keep at it. Y'all keep at it too, and have a nice week.